All right, we're going to teach you how to add a royalty statement now. If you took the tutorial previous to this was about licensing, where we did a collection and we did payouts, then you should have some data in the files already. If not, you can watch here and follow through. Anyway, in our files we have created that data. So at the end of the quarter or the end of the year, whenever it's time to go out and pay your writers and sub-publishers, you go ahead and you'll do this step, which is you go down here. We found the writer. Chris Songwriter is one of the writers on My Heart Belongs to You song, and we know we owe him a royalty statement. So we're going to do My Work, which we click on this pop-up menu and choose the second entry, new royalty statement for this contact. And that brings that up. Click the Do It button next to it, and that creates a new royalty statement over in the royalty file. So we just navigated from the people file over to the royalty file, and you can see this orange color so that when you see that, you'll know you're in the royalty file. It's color coordinated. Now, all we're going to need to do is we want to make sure a contract is assigned to this royalty statement. So in order to do that, we click on this button here, and that gives us a list of all our contracts. Now, here's Chris Songwriter's main deal. So let's click on that. That assigns his contract number to this royalty. And I'll show you in a minute why it needs to be connected to the contract, because it takes care of advances, etc. See, there's an advance available based on that contract number of $100 that was added previously in the contract file. So in order to create royalties, to add line items, you don't have to type them in. It's all done automatically. You simply choose this first button, choose from outstanding royalty items, and the other choice is choose from outstanding reserves. We don't have reserves right now, so we're going to click on this, and it says, oops, you must enter a period end date before you continue. Okay, I forgot. So it takes you to the period end date. Let's do June 30th as the period end date. And now we can go back and click on this button. It's already set up for Chris Songwriter, so it's going to go look for his royalties. And you'll notice that if you went through the other tutorial with us, that we did one for $159.25, and then we also did a publisher royalty for $79.63. So it's finding all of those right here. So we could do it manually or automatically. If you do it manually, you can pick from the list the ones you want to assign. So let's try that first. So click anywhere on the royalty item. I'll show you how to do that. Just click OK. And you'll go up here and just click anywhere on the item that you want. So let's assign this one. And it put it over here. So let's click continue now. So it only added one item instead of two. But now if we do it automatically, it's going to add two, or all the items in that list. So you have two choices. So we'll go back now and choose that again. And this time we'll just choose automatic. Click OK. And it'll automatically bring in all the royalties. These are line items for your royalty statement. But all of them, it'll add all of them right now when you click this continue button at the top. So right here, it told you in the last dialog box that go up and click continue, and now it just added that. So it's added the author and the publisher royalties due to Chris Songwriter at Sensitive Music Publishing. That's because we only created one contract and one record, which was A002. We included the publisher and the songwriter on the same people record. So you could do it that way, or you could do it separately. I kind of like to do a separate publisher too, so you can keep track of just the publisher royalties, but that's really up to how you want to do it. So now that we've entered these, we want to pay. We want to make a payment for this. So this is what we owe. It gives you totals up here. So we want to click on either the payments button here or the payments button at the top. Both go to the same place. So we click that. It takes us to the payment screen we're still in the royalty file. And I notice there's a recoupable advance amount that's pending. So we could assign that to this $238. So in order to do that, we just simply click on this line or any line that's listed in here. You can apply as many recoupable advances as you wish. Let's click that. And notice that it put it over here as an advance. It assigned it to the royalty statement and took $100 out, and now we have a balance due of $138. So let's apply this as a statement, this amount. It just applied the balance due by clicking here. Instead of entering it manually, it automatically put it in. We're going to pay by check. 2223, for example. Now we paid, and they're also connected to the contract number, which is what you want. That happens automatically once you put this contract in here. So we have now paid it in full. And if you want, you can list the way you prefer to pay it. For example, if they prefer you pay it with a long bank code, for example, it won't automatically do that, but you could track that and bring that in from the people file as well if you're interested. Now, to print this, you simply go up and click this button here, or you can go to the printer button, go to reports. This will print just the current record. Click the desired button to print the current statement. There's two different types of view. There's one that looks like this, and there's your royalty statement. You print it out and go ahead, print it out, and it'll take you back. Click done, and there's your record. Click on that, it goes back to it. It closed it because it knows it's been printed and taken care of. Now if you go to this other printer, it's going to show you a vertical page view. The other was horizontal. So it depends which you'd like to use. The horizontal gives you more detail, but this one is nice because the vertical style, there's two different styles. If you're just trying to print the current record, this will print out and fold up and go into a window envelope. So it makes it real quick if you want to mail it. And then again, click this style. That's the dark orange one. So click continue, and we're done. And it prints it out. Click on it. I want to go back and look at it. It put the printing in here, put the date and the time as you printed it. You can also do it by clicking the printer report to go to print to reports, statement, print the style 1 and style 2. Let's do style 2. I think that's vertical, right? And we'll go up and click the continue button. Oh, it's asking me, I want to do all the ones for payment ending June 30th, 17. All right, there's printing out a couple. There's some other ones in here. Now here's the one we were just looking at. So these are the unprinted ones. This was a long one that we had a lot of sample data in there, and we just created one, so you don't have to worry about that. But your royalty statement should look like this. When you're done, click continue and print it, and you're done. So this big one is just a bogus one we put in there. So I'm going to go back and look at this. It says it's printed. This is greater than 50 line items. It creates a different, if you know there's more than 50 line items, you should use this to print. You can use it for less too. But if it has more than 50 line items, it'll break it up. And some royalty statements will. Some pop-up menus in here. We'll call this all-in-one. What type of royalty statement? All-in-one meaning it's author and publisher royalties combined. You can enter any data that you want. If you want to put the, say, April 1st through 6/30, you could do that. That's optional. As long as you have a period ending, you must have a period ending entered to create a royalty statement. Now, if there's outstanding reserves, you can also add those to this royalty statement. This one's closed right now, so if we click it, I believe it says the statement has been closed, therefore you may not choose from outstanding reserves. You will need to create a new statement to apply reserves. So if you wanted to do that, I think there's a whole bunch of them in the system. So just for funsy, let's go back to people and go to Chris Songwriter and choose new royalty statement. We could have also done that right in here by just clicking the new button, but then we would have had to enter A-002 by clicking there, and we could do it by clicking there and assigning Chris as the person. So again, we want to click the contract. Whoops. I went over to the contract, so I'm going to click the hide button. I want to click in here and assign Chris Songwriter's main deal. Now it's linked. It's going to need an ending date, the 30th, and we'll click from choose outstanding reserves. And there's a whole lot because we have a whole lot of bogus information in here. So we'll just create an automatic. It says on the next screen, click the continue button at the above the pick list. And there it is. So look for your continue button. It may look different depending on which version of FileMaker you're using, because sometimes it's blue and sometimes it's clear, depending on the FileMaker version you're using. But it threw all that data in there. This was all old sample data we were playing with. But basically, you've got another royalty statement now with all this data. There's outstanding reserves. So it went and got it from the reserve file, which we'll show you in another tutorial. All right. So we go up to the long list button. There's the 3 royalty statements. Here's the one for 238. That was the one we were working on. So that's it. That's how easy a royalty statement is. You just print them out, mail them, or you could PDF them, attach them to an email, whatever you like. So good job. I hope that's helpful.